Larry tried to kill me.
Yeah. I was so thoroughly disgusted.
I mean, think about it. Why does it make you special to do what you do?
Packers jumping around. They rush four. Plenty of time for John. Now squeezes, steps up in the pocket. Elway can run inside the 10. Head first. He dives. 5-yard line. My goodness.
Rushing forward, ball comes out of the hands of Newton. It's on the ground and still on the ground. Picked up by T.J. Ward at the 4-yard line.
There's also Brian Clady and Bob Miller. Third and long 3. Going deep. Oh, and he's got Thomas. Goodbye. Touchdown. Here we go. First snap of the overtime. The Broncos have been in 3 overtime games this year. They won them all. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Stifford got him 3 to the 30, to the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on to New England. They win it on the first play of overtime.
Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with passion, emotion, truth, and my comments. I'm your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys, we are we're like, what, 10 days away from Christmas? So I'm going to say it again next Friday too, but I want to wish everybody out there a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's hope for a great, great 2023 Broncos season. I know it's tough, guys. I know it's tough, but yeah, let's hope the Denver Broncos are much better in 2023. Quick shout out to Avatar. What's up, Broncos country? Avatar, sorry to hear that, man. I'm glad you're okay. Close call last Friday night coming home from work when someone almost hit you head on. Holy smokes, man. I don't even want to know what that feels like to be in that scary situation. Glad you're okay. I know your nerves are probably shot a little bit, but glad you're okay. Glad you're okay. Glad you're in the chat room. Glad you're in the show. And I wish you all the best, man. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. Guys, last week's game, first topic, last week's game, Kansas City at Denver. I'm going to tell you something right now, guys. When it was 27-0, I was like, all right, well, this is going to be like a 54-0 blowout. Nope. But a very, very unlikely source, in my opinion, was the reason why the Broncos made this game extremely close. And I'll get into that in just a bit. But here's a recap. Denver, from the start, we're looking up at Kansas City leading 27-0. About 5 minutes before the half, something happened. There was an incident, and like I said, I'll get into that in a minute. But there was an incident, I'm not going to name what it was because I want to get in it, but there was an incident that turned things around. So here's part of it. Jerry Jeudy went off on a non-call and was catching everything Russell Wilson was throwing at him after that incident. Yeah, 3 touchdowns by Jerry Jeudy. Now, the Broncos had the ball with 5 minutes left in the first half, trailing 27-0. And Russell Wilson drives them down the field, Jerry Jeudy was an absolute instrumental person. Now, Clint Kubiak put Jerry Jeudy in what's called the X factor. That's taking him instead of the slot, it's moving him outside where he can be more one-on-one. When he's in the slot, it's more it's more zone. And Jerry Jeudy's not that equipped or that well and adaptive to the zone. Clint Kubiak moves him outside, bam, 3 touchdowns. All right, I continue. Like I said, Jeudy caught 3 touchdown passes and closed the gap from 27-0 to 27-21 early in the third quarter. Now, Denver had what I call a 2-for-1. That means they had the ball late in the second quarter going in for a score, which they got, Jerry Jeudy touchdown. Then they received the kickoff starting the third quarter, and the Broncos scored a touchdown on that. So I call that a 2-for-1. 2 scores, 1 opportunity without, or not 1 opportunity, but 1, you know what I'm trying to say. It's a 2-for-1. They get 2 scores basically with 1 possession because they get it at the end of the second and they get it in the beginning of the third. Basically, it's the same situation. Okay. However, it wasn't enough as the Chiefs won 34-28. Russell Wilson was injured in that game in the fourth quarter, and I'll get into that in a little bit as well. But it was an outstanding, and I know I've been very, very harsh and negative, not because I want to be, but because the Denver Broncos have not given me an opportunity to be positive. Last week's Sunday's game was positive. After it was 27-0, after the Jerry Jeudy incident, which I'll get into like I mentioned, it was extremely positive. The Broncos did wonderful things. 3 interceptions against Patrick Mahomes. When was the last time you've heard that? Well, let me break it out even further than that. When was the last time you had a Denver, or you watched a Denver Broncos game this season that had 3 interceptions? I mean, sure, it may come, in garbage time, or it may come, with a backup quarterback. Patrick Mahomes is not a backup quarterback. And Denver intercepted him 3 times. And an incredible interception by Patrick Surtain. I mean, the ball was like right here. I mean, right underneath here is the ground. The ball hits like right here and bounces up, and he catches it. It was originally ruled incomplete. And I'm screaming my head off. That's not an incompletion. That's an interception. It was overturned, and it was interception. 3 interceptions against Patrick Mahomes. The guy is human, but he's also a magician. He made some plays, some passes in that game that were just mind-boggling. For the ordinary quarterback in the NFL, that's mind-boggling. Patrick Mahomes, that's normal. He does that stuff in his sleep. The guy is crazy good. Denver had a chance, but when Russell Wilson was injured and out of the game for the last half of the fourth quarter, Brett Rippon just couldn't get it done. Denver loses 34-28, but it was a great game. It showed the Broncos of what we always thought that Russell Wilson and the offense would be like. Sure, we're missing a lot of key players. Absolutely we are. We're missing KJ Hamler. We're missing Cortland Sutton. We're missing God, I can't remember the other guy's name. Tim Patrick. We're missing Tim Patrick. Can you imagine if we had all of those guys? Oh, this whole season would be totally different. But the way they fought back, and then Hinton gets hurt. Kendall Hinton gets hurt. So basically, Jerry Jeudy was the offense, along with Dulcich. But it was a great game from the standpoint that Russell Wilson got to be Russell Wilson. Clint Kubiak opened up the playbook and basically structured it towards Russell Wilson. It was a great game. Yes, we lost. I'm sorry we lost. Of course I'm sorry we lost. But it was a great game from the standpoint that the Broncos did not give up. They could have said, you know what? Hey, our season's done anyways. Why am I going out here busting my chops? Why am I going out here, busting what I have to do to get things done? Because they're professionals. They're a Broncos football player. They love this team. And they want to play hard, and they did. Just came up a little bit short. Do I look at this game like all the other games that we've lost in the season? Absolutely not. No, this was a gut performance game by the Denver Broncos. Do you realize that the Broncos have only been trailed? Let's see, they only trailed like 24-0. Peyton Manning brought him back against the Chargers several years ago. There was another time, I forget, I think it was Elway was down 24-0, and they came back. This is the first time the Broncos have been down 27-0 and almost came all the way back. Almost. Is it a, I don't know, is it an emotional win? No, it's not an emotional win, but it's on the right path. Take Hackett out of the equation, and this is what we see, guys. This is what we see. As long as Clint Kubiak is calling the plays and Russell Wilson is allowed to be Russell Wilson, this is the kind of games we can expect in 2023. All right, let's go to Avatar says, for some reason, Patrick Mahomes never saw Josie Jewell in his 2 interceptions. I don't think he did either. I really don't. Josie Jewell is kind of like a stealth player. He kind of like just hangs out, makes you think he's not interested in where you're throwing the ball or doing whatever. And all of a sudden he just, boom, jumps the route. He makes that uncanny move that throws quarterbacks off. And I'm telling you now, and I agree with the Avatar, if Patrick Mahomes can get confused by a Josie Jewell move, yeah, Josie Jewell definitely has something. Because Patrick Mahomes, I mean, I've seen the guy throw like this, whoop, not even look. And I mean, the guy's got like eyes in the back of his head. But I think you're absolutely right that Patrick Mahomes never saw Josie Jewell. Now, on that throw that Patrick Surtain got, I think that was just a missed throw. But that was a great move by Patrick Surtain. But going back to Josie Jewell, yeah, the guy is clutch. He's absolutely clutch. And I totally agree with you. All right. What do you mean? What about Javonte? What do you mean? What about Javonte? Javonte who? Javonte who? Let me know what you think, Avatar. Let me know what that is. What the heck is this, Madungus? I feel like Bill sure is on back. It's not a backwards. Got the Broncos one right here. What's wrong with you, man? Come on, man. You don't think I know how to dress? Holy smoke. I checked with my wife before I came on. She said I looked okay, so I'm fine. All right, thanks for being concerned, Madungus. I appreciate it. It's not on backwards. Okay. Let's hear. Madungus also said, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the Bash brothers, Josie Jewell and Alex Singleton. I don't know. I mean, it's an okay saying. It's an okay, I don't know, not cliche, but it's an okay title. I love both of them. Obviously, Josie Jewell is awesome in coverage. Alex Singleton, that guy seems to be everywhere, man. I mean, he's making tackles, he's making sacks, he's stopping the running back in the backfield. Yeah, I like that. I like that, Bash Brothers. Yeah, and I think absolutely, I think there ought to be more of that. I don't mean more players involved in being called Bash Brothers. I mean more bashing by the Broncos. Make the other team feel it. Make them know that you're there. Don't just tackle them and get up. No, hit them. Hit them. Make them feel it. Let them know we're there. Sure, we may be 3-10. Doesn't matter. They're professionals. Let them feel the fact that you're there. Bash Brothers, absolutely. How about maybe Smash Brothers? I don't know. I like Bash. I like Smash. Either one. It's all good. I like it. Josie Jewell, Alex, a lot of people got upset because Alex Singleton was on the, quote, face of the Broncos when they apparently, for advertising the game between Kansas City. I think it was Kansas City. And everybody's like, oh, what do you got Singleton on there? Well, you're taking Wilson off. He's not the face of the team. Wilson is the face of the team, okay? Singleton's just having a really good year. Why not acknowledge him? Why not? Defense is number 7 in the entire NFL. Number 7 defense overall. Yeah, you got to put a defensive player on there because the Broncos defense is stellar. Sure, we gave up 34 points against Kansas City, but heck, guys, it's Kansas City. You really think we're going to keep them and Patrick Mahomes shut down? No, not at all. But Singleton and Josie Jewell are the cornerstones in that middle defense of the Broncos. Just like Patrick Surtain and Justin Simmons are the cornerstones in the secondary. Yeah, I like that. I really like that. Way to go, Mundungus. That's a good comment. Yeah, Avatar said Javonte Williams not playing. That one hurts. That really, really hurts. When he went down, that really hurt. Because obviously, who did we rely on? Mr. Fumbles himself. And you notice he wasn't in that Kansas City game. I knew he wouldn't be. Yeah, so Mr. Fumbles himself, Melvin Gordon, he was a featured back. No, that's not a good trade. Why do you think we went out there and got who we get? Why do I want to call him Javonte too? It's not. Latavius Murray. That's why we got Latavius Murray. Because Melvin Gordon can't hang on the ball. We had to have somebody that knows how to hang on to it. And then Gordon's gone. And then, we got Latavius Murray, and then Boone's injured, and it's just been a catastrophic year. But having Javonte Williams out for the year, and I'm not sure, Avatar, I'm really not sure. And I hate to say this, I don't have any medical knowledge, obviously, of knowing. But when you tear your ACL and MCL, I'm not quite sure he's even going to be ready to play next year, even a microcosm of what he could have been. And that's sad because this kid had potential. He had absolutely, he could have been another Terrell Davis. And I know that's speaking very high praise and very high admiration. But Javonte Williams was that kind of guy. I absolutely think and feel he could have been another Terrell Davis. And that would have been icing on the cake for this Broncos running back team. Yeah, I think that would have been phenomenal. It would have been great to see Javonte Williams have, a 2,000-yard season, MVP of the league, whatever. We'll never know. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to say he can't do it. Just going to be a tough road to come back. Okay. Glenn, no, I'm not Dr. Bill. Not even close to that. But, I don't know. I mean, I just know that when Terrell Davis tore his ACL, he never was the same. So tearing an ACL and MCL, that's going to be tough. Although I will tell you this. Javonte Williams was a lot younger, or is a lot younger than Terrell Davis was when he tore his ACL. So hopefully a younger Javonte Williams will be able to come back just as strong and hopefully even stronger. I would love to see that. Absolutely love to see that. Okay. Wow. Did not know that, Mundungus. Singleton's 9th in the NFL for tackles. Well, you know what? That's what I'm saying. Singleton is everywhere. The kid is just electric. He's playing his heart out. He doesn't care he does care, but you know what I'm saying? He's not going to take any time off or any plays off when the team is 3-10. He's not going to do that. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit. I love watching this kid play. Absolutely love watching this kid play. All right, I'm going to go to Dr. Glenn now. Javonte will be fine. Glad for that report, Glenn. Glad that. I sure hope so, man. I absolutely sure hope you are correct. All right, let's move on. Sad note. And I got to bring this in because everybody who watches college football, if you didn't watch the team, you heard of him and you knew who he was. Mike Leach, a very great head coach from Mississippi State, has passed away last week at the tender age of 61. He will be missed by his team, family, and those who watched his games, his teams, and his interviews. His interviews were classic. He spoke it from, he basically shot from the hip. And he was the person you saw interviewed or in a press conference or whatever. That was the kind of guy you got on the field. Mike Leach, may you rest in peace. And may Mississippi State honor him hopefully next year. Leach, you're going to be missed. Rest in peace. All right. The Denver Broncos, Denver Broncos have lost a player that just played last week. I don't mean to injury. I mean to another team. Broncos offensive guard Netane Mutai has been claimed off the Broncos practice squad by the Las Vegas Raiders. That's right. That's right. McDaniels came and snatched one of our guys away. Mutai played 28 snaps at left guard last Sunday as one of 3 players who filled in for Dalton Reisner. So, was Mutai a key player? Would he have been anything better than practice squad? I don't know. I don't think so. But it always hurts to lose any players to another team, especially a team in our own division. The Las Vegas Raiders, who swept us this year. Now, sure, we don't play them again this year, but we play them next year. What if Mutai's still on there? Would he make a difference? I don't know. But it's just frustrating that we lose a player to a rival team like the Las Vegas Raiders, and especially Josh McDaniels. Kind of stings just a little bit more than it would be if he went to, I don't know, let's say, Houston Texans, Cleveland Browns, I don't know. But it wouldn't hurt as much as it does going to a rival coached by former Bronco head coach Josh McDaniels. Okay. Speaking of a player that was claimed off of waivers, or not waivers, but off of the practice squad, the Broncos did sign a familiar wide receiver, not to the Broncos, but to Russell Wilson. Denver has signed Freddie Swain off the Dolphins practice squad. Swain played with Russell Wilson in Seattle the past 2 seasons prior to Wilson going to Denver. As Sutton and Hinton recover from hamstring injuries, Swain may be called up to fill in. I think that'd be great. There's just one problem. Wilson's not going to be playing this Sunday, and I'll get to that whole reason why. Wilson's not going to be playing this Sunday. So is Swain just a fill-in for like the last 3 games of the season? When we play the Rams on Christmas Day, and then we play the Chiefs in Kansas City the following week, and then we wrap up the season at home against the Chargers? Is that where we're going to see Swain? Or are we not going to see him? I don't know. Maybe he might be playing in the game against the Cardinals this Sunday. But if he's well known to Russell Wilson as far as, route running, familiarity, what Wilson likes to call, what he likes to play, how he likes to throw, all that kind of thing. If Wilson's not in there, does Swain make a difference? Well, sure, we need wide receivers. We don't have Courtland Sutton. We don't have Hinton. We don't have KJ Hamler. We don't have Tim Patrick. Oh, heck, we don't got anybody but Jerry Jeudy, who was pissed off last week, and I'll get to that too. But, so, yeah, we need wide receivers. We need people who can catch the ball. I'm just wondering, if he's on the practice squad, we just signed him a couple days ago. It's going to be a crash course for him to learn the playbook. But I would assume that Clint Kubiak would structure plays according to, what works with him, what works with Brett Rippon, that kind of thing. But I think it's great to have a player that Russell Wilson is familiar with, because that helps down the road. Absolutely, it helps down the road. Just too bad that the season is almost over, and I don't know if we're keeping Swain into next year. I have no idea. I wouldn't think so. I mean, if we're going to have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy and Tim Patrick and KJ Hamler and Dulwich, I mean, is there any room for Swain other than the practice squad? I don't know. Be interesting to find out, though. But I thought that was a good signing, at least for filling in for Hinton and Sutton being injured. Okay, speaking of injuries, Kyler Murray, Cardinals quarterback Kyler Murray suffered a season-ending injury with a torn ACL. Murray went to the ground on his own during a scramble against the New England Patriots last weekend. Okay, why am I bringing that in? Because we play the Cardinals this Sunday. Does that give the Broncos an advantage? It may have, if we had Russell Wilson, possibly. But now it's going to be backup against backup. It's going to be the backup for the Cardinals against Brett Rippon. Now, Brett Rippon is a decent quarterback. He's not spectacular. He's not great, but he's decent. The problem with Rippon is he's a statue. He can't run like a Russell Wilson. He dang sure can't run like a Kyler Murray. But if he's able to get the ball out quick enough, and the offensive line, which is the key here, guys, if the offensive line is able to hold up, then I think Brett Rippon will have the amount, a lot of time that he needs to read the defense, scan out his progressions, and throw to the correct receiver. Thing that scares me is he was sacked numerous times last week against Kansas City. Now, is Kansas City's defense better than Cardinals? I don't think so. They may be equal. The Cardinals may be even a little bit better. If that's the case, this could be a very, very long afternoon for Brett Rippon and the offensive line. I hope that's not the case. Absolutely hope that's not the case. But if the Cardinals can do to the offensive line what the Chiefs did in getting to Rippon in that fourth quarter when Wilson was injured, not going to be a pretty sight, guys. Not going to be a pretty sight. And I'll get into what I think is going to happen in that game a little bit later. Okay. Madungus says I pronounce Mutai wrong. It's pronounced Muti. Muti, like the drink. Muti? Really? It's got an I at the end, dude. Not an E. But hey, I'll go with it. Hey, however he wants to pronounce his name, I'll pronounce it that way. So it is Muti. All right. Thanks, Madungus, for clearing that up. Appreciate it. Okay. Now, last week, I mentioned that the NFL did a shot across the proverbial 32-team bow, so to speak, saying that if anybody went down and faked an injury because you didn't have any timeouts left, this, that, or the other thing, then, there's going to be heavy fines coming down, and we could possibly fine you, fine the team, fine the player, whatever. Well, it's happened. Last week, like I said, I mentioned that the NFL was going to come down hard on teams and players for faking an injury to stop play. Well, last weekend, the game between the Saints and the Buccaneers, there was an alleged incident from Cameron Jordan, safety, of the Saints. Tampa Bay was in a hurry-up offense, and Jordan went to a knee and pointed to his leg. The play was stopped, and the Bucs were forced to punt because they couldn't get the hurry-up offense trying to catch the Saints in a defensive mismatch or cause them to be drawn off sides or whatever. It says, Jordan commented on Twitter with the following, and I quote, This fine is ridiculous. For what? A deliberate action to delay the game before a team punts? Are you kidding me? I wouldn't do that. End quote. Well, I don't know. The NFL says it was done on purpose. It was a fake injury. Now, I don't know. I didn't watch the game. I didn't see it. I don't have any other insight other than what I just read to you. And the fine was not disclosed. So I don't have any idea of how much the fine was. I don't know if I'm assuming he's going to appeal it. That would make a lot of sense on his part. But how do you prove something? See, that's the thing I don't understand. Now, does he go into the tent and they go, okay, well, you didn't have an injury, so you're okay? Is that how they determine it? That's the only thing I can think of. I mean, you're not going to sit there to have a medical doctor from an independent source come running on the field with, all white uniform going, here I come. I'm going to make sure that's okay. How do you do this? How do you know? And being a safety and all of a sudden he takes a knee and points to his leg. Really? When the Buccaneers are running to the line in a hurry-up offense. Sounds to me like it's suspicious. Sounds to me like it was faked. But I don't know. I'm not Jordan. I don't know. Did he tweak something and then realize, oh, shoot, that kind of hurts? Wow, maybe I should just take a knee. And I don't know. Just seems a little far-fetched. Just put it that way. Thought that was interesting, though, that the NFL really is looking into faking injuries to stop the clock so that they can get a breather, they can substitute players in and out. Just find it extremely interesting that it happened when the Buccaneers were trying to do a hurry-up offensive play on 4th down. Quite interesting. All right. Speaking of fines, Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy was fined $36,280 for unsportsmanlike conduct last Sunday against the Chiefs. You're asking, what the heck did he do? Well, I'll tell you. Tom Pelissero from NFL Network reported that Jeudy received $23,020 of a fine for making contact with an official after a penalty that Jeudy said should have been called. So apparently there was a severe holding penalty or pass interference or something against Jerry Jeudy on a pass play. The referee is right there, doesn't call it. Jeudy loses his mind, takes off his helmet, just goes ballistic after the referee elbows him or bumps into him like this. And immediately after further review from NFL headquarters, he was fined a total of $36,281, not just for bumping in, but for also taking his helmet off. He says Jeudy, also received $13,261 fine for removing his helmet prior to getting to the sidelines. So it wasn't just one incident, it was two. Now, do I stand up for Jerry Jeudy? Yes and no. Yes, I do, from the standpoint that, yes, it's an emotional game. The Broncos were trailing. Judy's making plays. He wants to continue making plays. The Broncos are moving down the field. He feels and felt like he was held or pass interfered. The referee is right there. Doesn't call it. Jeudy loses his mind. Is it frustration over the game only? No, I don't believe that one bit whatsoever. I think it's a total frustration of the entire season. The way the season has gone. The way, name it. Injuries, losses, close losses. Do you realize the Broncos have played 13 games and 11 of them are decided by one possession? That is absolutely uncanny. 13 games, 11 decided by one possession. Frustrated, Jerry Jeudy frustrated? Absolutely. Absolutely. But I absolutely support him on that aspect. not the aspect of bumping the referee and taking his helmet off. He knows better than that. Did the frustration get to him and that's what happened? Absolutely. Totally agree. But you can't do it. We all get frustrated at things. I've done things and said things. I look back and go, God dang, I said that or did that under frustration, and it's come back to bite me. But you can't do it in the NFL. When you know what you're not supposed to do and you do it, even in frustration, you have to check yourself. Oh, sure, it's hard to do. Absolutely, it's hard to do. But you got to do it. And yes, Jerry Jeudy was wrong in bumping the referee and taking his helmet off prior to getting to the sidelines. That is extremely true. Very true. But hopefully he'll learn from this. $36,000 in some other change. Is it chump change to him? Possibly. I mean, he's making millions, but still, I don't know if it's so much the money as it is the fact that it happened. And yes, he's fined, and hopefully he learned from it. He's able to control himself a little bit more. Yes, I want him to stay aggressive. I want him to stay frustrated and angry and passionate. Absolutely. Just don't cross the line. Don't cross that line that will cause you to get fined. And maybe if it were to happen again, hopefully it doesn't, he could be suspended. That's what we don't need. So hopefully, Jerry Jeudy, this is a lesson to not do those things again. Don't cross that line and just pay the fine and move on. Okay. Now, we have something that's going to happen to Empower Field at Mile High. And it's a good thing. No, guys, they're not going to implode it. They're not going to start building a stadium tomorrow. No. But they are going to, they being the owners of the Broncos, the Walton Penner ownership group, is and has been granted by the NFL to do $100 million upgrade to Mile High Stadium. Here it is. The Denver Broncos ownership group is going to have some upgrades to the stadium beginning right after the season ends. Completion should be ready for the start of the 2023 season. The upgrades will include more concession stands, new elevators on the east and west side, possible suites upgraded, and a new, larger scoreboard. Yeah, that's right. You don't think you think the scoreboard's big enough now? Wait till you hear these numbers. The scoreboard is going to be raised. Now, let me back up. They're not going to modify the scoreboard they have now. They're taking that one down. It's going to be a brand new state-of-the-art scoreboard. And here are the dimensions. The new scoreboard will be 72 feet tall, 31 more feet than what the scoreboard is now. Holy smokes, 72 feet tall. Guys, that is 7 stories tall. 7, because they measure a story by 10 feet. That's 7 stories tall. That's crazy big. And 220 feet wide. My gosh, that is enormous. It's and it's gonna, like I said, the whole total cost is a cost of an upgrade of $100 million. Now, the NFL is going to put in $12 million towards the $100 million. The remaining remaining $88 million is going to be financed through what they call a G-Force finance. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm not sure if that means that the Walton Penner ownership group has to put in some money. I don't know what the G4 means. But what I do know is that the NFL is putting in $12 million towards the $100 million renovation and upgrades to Empower Field at Mile High. Do I like that? Absolutely, I like that. Are you kidding me? Sure. I mean, to have new concessions, they're going to have elevators or make it more accessible on the east and west side. Bigger scoreboard. The suites are going to be, modernized. I'm assuming it's probably going to have more high tech stuff where the fans can interact. Maybe on the scoreboard, it says that they're going to have like stats about the game on one side. It's going to be kind of like in the center. It's going to be the screen. And then on this side may have stats, and then on this side may have like scores of the other games or whatever. I don't know. But that is an enormous size, 72 feet high, 225 feet wide. That is spectacular. That is spectacular. Okay. Now I have a question. This question was presented to me, and it's by Bubba Gonzalez. And he asked the following question. Where do I see Albert O in my plans if I were the head coach of the Denver Broncos? Wow, that's a good question. That's a really, really good question. Because I don't know why Albert O isn't utilized more. He's a healthy scratch every single week. And they obviously can't trade him or haven't been able to trade him. Does that mean that he's fallen out from favor from the head coach? I don't know. But where would I use him? Well, here's what I would do if I was a head coach. Okay. We have a Dulcich. We have a great tight end in Dulcich. I would give Albert O another chance to prove himself right or wrong. And what I mean by that is this. Okay. If we have a running play and he's in there to block and he doesn't block, then he's not going to be in there for running plays. And if he's in there for passing plays and he runs a wrong route or a ball's thrown to him and he doesn't catch it, or he catches it and can't break away from tackles, I'm not going to bench him right away, but I am going to take a hard look at what his strengths and weaknesses are. If he's weak on the blocking procedure on a run play, I can't have him in there, because what if it's a designed quarterback run on the outside? And if Wilson were to see an open receiver, he can throw it. If he doesn't see it, then he runs it. But if Albert O's in there and he can't block, Wilson could get killed. He could get injured. He could get hurt bad. I wouldn't want that. You can't have that. So would I put an Albert O in there? Under certain circumstances, I would give him a second chance, so to speak. Let him prove to be right or wrong. Right for this team or wrong for this team. And why is he on the bench as a healthy scratch every week? Well, there you go. Maybe that's part of the reason. Why haven't they traded him? I don't know if anybody's out there wants him. I don't know if at this point in time, and I know the trade deadline is come and gone, so I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about previous, when we had the trade was available. I don't know. I don't know if nobody called. I don't know if maybe George Payton got on the phone, called people, hey, you interested in the trade for Albert O? Nope. I mean, I don't know. I don't know that. But it's interesting that he's always a healthy scratch. And maybe it has a lot to do with what he can and cannot do. I don't know. All right. Graham says, a little while ago, Coach said Albert O has done what we've asked him to do on game days. What? Sit on the bench? Because that's basically what he's done. But no, I agree, Graham. To a certain degree, maybe he has done what they've asked. Maybe it's just that he can't go above and beyond what they've asked. I don't know what they've asked. Maybe they've just asked him to be in there as a decoy, but he hasn't been in there lately. So I'm not quite sure. Like I said, I'm not quite sure why he isn't in there. I know he has blocking scheme issues. I know he has, he has issues along the line of, of route running and hanging on to the ball, that kind of thing. So I don't know. I just know that Dulcich is balling out big time. It's awful hard to take a guy out when he's producing like Dulcich is. That's all I can say. Okay. Let's see. What? It was a baloney answer. My answer was a baloney answer? Seriously? Nobody was interested? I don't know. if anybody's interested or not. I just know that they haven't been able to trade him. So going back to your baloney answer, I don't know what else you want me to say. I mean, if he's unable to be in the starting lineup and all that, I don't know. I don't know what the reason is why he's always a healthy scratch. I don't know. I have no idea why. I would like to see him in it. Absolutely. I'd like to see 2 tight ends. I think that would be great. I think 2 tight ends, wide receiver, running back, or maybe 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, jump up. I don't know. But I think that they could utilize Albert O a lot better than what they have. That's it. Oh, good. Thank you for thank you for taking the hot seat off of me. I appreciate it. No coach's answer about Albert O was below. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Graham. Appreciate you taking me off the hot seat. I was starting to go, wait a minute, what did I say wrong? What did I say that was messed up? Thank you for that. Appreciate it. One more thing from Graham. Says, done what we've asked him to do. To your point, he hasn't done anything. Yep, I agree. He hasn't done anything. And that's the problem. See, that's the problem I have with Hackett. Hackett comes out and sugarcoats everything. And you can't sugarcoat what is sour. You can't. You can put sugar on top of a sour pickle. And yeah, you'll taste a little bit of sweet at first when you bite into it. But when you get that sour, that's going to overpower the sweetness. That's basically what Hackett is doing. He's trying to sugarcoat everything with this team. Well, you know, we came back in that game. We only lost by 7. No kidding. But you've lost by 7 11 times. Or, well, 1 score differential 11 times out of 13 games. Yeah, it's been close. And so is horseshoes. And so is hand grenades. But the bottom line is this. You didn't get the job done. Quit sugarcoating it. Quit trying to tell me that it's fixed when it's not. Don't tell me we've asked Albert O to do a whole bunch of stuff and he's done everything we've asked him. What'd you ask him to do? Sit on the bench? I'm just saying. So, yeah, I'm sick and tired of, it was good at first. It sounded good. Yeah, hey, we got everything going. We're doing great. We're getting past this hump. I know we lost to Seattle, but we've corrected all those mistakes. No, you haven't. Yes, they've been corrected to some degree, but not that second game. So quit trying to pull the wool over eyes, Hackett. It's not working anymore. Broncos country is aware of what you're saying, and we don't like the taste of sugar on top of a sour pickle. Okay. Sorry, guys, if I hit the microphone. Didn't mean to. Okay. Now, let's go to the last topic, and that is this game Sunday afternoon. 105 Denver time, 105 Pacific time, 205 Denver time. Arizona Cardinals at Denver Broncos. Now, the Cardinals are 4-9. Denver is 3-10. Cardinals should be favored, right? Nope. Not even with the backup quarterbacks. The Broncos are favored by 1.5 points. Now, I know a team gets 3 points for being the home team. So they're giving a little edge to the Cardinals and dropping it from 3-point favorite to 1.5. Here it is. Both the Cardinals and Broncos will be without their starting quarterbacks. Tyler Murray has a season-ending torn ACL, and Wilson is being held back after a concussion he sustained last Sunday. Now, if you guys saw that hit that he took at the 1-yard line of the Chiefs, and the look on his eyes was like he had no idea where he was. He was out. And I'm not quite sure that he wasn't knocked out at some point. I mean, if he was, it didn't last long, but man, that was a terrifying, terrifying look in Wilson's eyes. Now, that being said, Wilson was cleared from the NFL protocol, but will not play. Now, my question is this. Was that a Hackett decision? Was that a Wilson decision? Which I doubt, because Wilson always wants to play. Was it a medical decision? Was it George Payton? Or was it the ownership decision? I don't know. Doesn't say. Just says that he passed the NFL protocol, concussion protocol, was cleared to play, but will be held back. My answer to that, I applaud that 100%. Go ahead, guys. Go ahead. Chime in on the chat. I know you guys are going to disagree. Here's why I say good. Hold him out. The season's over, guys. We are officially eliminated from the playoffs, thanks to the loss to the Kansas City Chiefs. Officially eliminated. So what is there to play for? Okay, hold on, guys. I know these guys are professionals. We want to win. In Broncos country, we want to win every game we play. Absolutely. I want to win Sunday. I want to win against the Rams, the Chiefs, and the Chargers to close out the season. Absolutely. But I don't want Russell Wilson to possibly get injured further. Think about this, guys. That was a hard, vicious hit that he took last Sunday. He was in concussion protocol. If he were to get hit again, maybe it becomes more severe. Maybe he starts losing memory. Guys, hold your thoughts. I'm not saying that's going to happen or could happen. I'm saying it possibly could happen. Anything could happen in the NFL. I'm just saying, why put him in this game when Kyler Murray is out and there's a backup on the Cardinals? Why not put in Brett Rippon, who will start Sunday against the Cardinals? Why not? Why not? Why take a chance on your franchise quarterback you just paid $249 million extension to go out in a meaningless game because he wants to go out there? Now, I commend Russell Wilson for wanting to be out there. He's a leader. He wants to play. He wants to win games. I get that, but not at the expense of a possible re-injury in a game and a season that is already lost. Now, the game's not lost. They haven't played yet, but I'm talking about the season. The season is lost. Why put him out there? Now, if he's 100% healthy and everything looks really good following the game on Sunday, he goes out and practices and this, that, and the other thing, and he wants to play Christmas Day against the Rams in LA, I say, okay, go for it. That's fine and dandy, but not this soon after that massive hit that he took last Sunday with the look in those eyes that basically told me, I have no idea where I am. That's the look I saw in Russell Wilson. He was saying, I have no idea where I am or what just happened. So why put him out there? To me, that would not be smart. And no matter who called this, no matter who called for Russell Wilson not to play, was a very, very smart move. I'm all for the Broncos winning. Absolutely. I want our best players out there. I just don't want to take a chance on Russell Wilson this soon after that type of hit and that type of concussion. And that knot, I don't know if you saw, there was a knot like this on the top of his freaking head, dude. I mean, seriously, it looked like an acorn. That can't be comfortable with a helmet on your head. Why would you take a chance? I'm glad he's not playing. For one reason and one reason only. I don't want his career ended with just less than a year on the Broncos staff or Broncos team. I don't want that. I want a healthy Russell Wilson in games that matter, in games that matter in standings, in playoff chances. And that, to me, won't happen until possibly next year. That's all I'm saying. I'm not anti-Wilson. Absolutely not. I just don't want him in this game because I don't want a reoccurrence, a possible reoccurrence. Because you know the Cardinals would be coming after him. You absolutely know that. Why take a chance? Why do it? Remember, the Cardinals played the Seattle Seahawks when Wilson was on the Seattle Seahawks. The Cardinals were in that division. You don't think they'd want to take him out? Oh, come on, guys. You have to know they would. Don't put him in that situation. Don't do it. Absolutely not. And for that matter, maybe not even play him against the Rams, because the Rams were in the same division as the Seattle Seahawks when Wilson was on there. So maybe you don't play him until Kansas City or the Chargers. Maybe you don't play him at all. It wouldn't bother me one bit. Like I said, guys, the season's over. The push for the playoffs is over. Why take a chance on your franchise quarterback? That's all I'm saying. Okay. Like I mentioned, Denver is a 1.5-point favorite. Now, the over-under in this game is 36.5 points. I'm not even giving it that. Not with two backup quarterbacks. Not with Denver's defense. No, I'm not giving 36.5. I'm going under on that if I were betting, but I'm not. But I'd stay under. My prediction for the score, or my call on the score, is this. Denver 17, Arizona 14. That's what I have for this score. 17-14 Denver. Backup quarterback against backup quarterback, but Denver's defense is much, much better than the Cardinals defense. I think the Cardinals defense is something in the 20s. Denver's ranked 7. Denver's going to win this game by their defense. Turnovers, pick six, fumble recovery for a touchdown, block field goal for return. I don't know. Denver's defense will win this game, in my opinion. Absolutely will. Okay. Riker says Brett Rippon is the new sheriff of Broncos country. You know, he could be. He could have a breakout game. He could have an absolutely breakout game this Sunday. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong and Denver puts up 34 points. Could happen. I don't care how many points the Broncos put up. Just put up one more point than the Cardinals. Let's get a win. Okay? I can't remember what it feels like to have a Broncos win. I mean, it's been light years since they played Jacksonville in London. I can't even remember what the score was on that. I honestly can't. I know we won, but it just seems so long ago that the Broncos had a win. We got to get this win this Sunday. Let's hope Brett Rippon has the game of his life against the Arizona Cardinals at home in Denver. And guys, I'm talking to everybody out there. Everybody out there is listening. You're got tickets to go to the game. Don't sell your tickets. Go to the game. Support this team. They need your support. You don't kick a person when they're down and trodden. No, you lift them up. You be there. You help them. You cheer them on like I do, sitting every single game watching the Broncos. You if they're going down, you go down with the ship. You don't jump ship and go, oh, yeah, well, you're on your own. I'm only there when you're good. No, you don't do that any more than I would ever do that to my son or grandkids. I would not say, hey, I'll support you when you guys get good grades, when you're doing good. Yep, when you got a good job, I'll support. No, you don't. You're there for them when they're hurting, when they're struggling, when they have issues. They come to you, parents, that is, parents, grandparent, whatever. As a football team, you're there for them. You watch the games, you support them. You do whatever you can to show up at the game. Not with bags on your heads, not leaving before the fourth quarter's over. You don't do that. You stick it out. So everybody out there, please support the Broncos. It's our team. It's Broncos country. It's Denver. It's Colorado. It's orange and blue. Got it? That's what we do, guys. We are Broncos country, and we stand behind our team. That's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you have not, please do so. It costs you nothing, and it helps out the MHRT network. It helps out this show, and I greatly, greatly appreciate your support. And everybody that was in the chat from let me go down the list, so I don't want to leave anybody out. From Avatar to Madungus to Glenn to Graham and to Riker. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Thanks for your comments. Thanks for your support. I greatly appreciate it. Guys, we have so many shows. Check it out on the MHRT network. All the different shows, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Please check out those shows. I know you'll enjoy them. And guys, until next Friday. And I'll see you then next Friday, right before Christmas. This show will go live again, 5 p.m. Till then, guys, take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day and weekend. We will talk to you next Friday. Till then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.